Smoke me!
No chemicals or preservatives, just 100% honest to goodness hickory smoked meat.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Boy, some chicken wings have really hit the spot.
You ain't got no better food like some chicken wings, some baby back ribs, some fries or something?
It's just two guys talking, am I right? We're just talking.
Hey, howdy, hey. Hey, wait. Hey, howdy, hey. They got gypped last week, so I wanted to give...
Did we not do it last week?
We didn't do the podcast last week.
Oh, sorry, everybody.
I just wanted everyone to get the full dose of hey, howdy, hey in their life.
If you're not getting a hey, howdy, hey a week, what are you even doing?
I don't know.
Like,
we're sorry we left you hanging.
that's our bad, guys. Well, mostly my bad. John was very supportive.
Hey, I'm going to say it's rec football. Well, and your kids are like in big kid football. Competitive football. Youth sports.
Youth sports, man. What the heck were we thinking? I have always told my wife I just don't want to be those people that are just sport. But holy crap, I feel like that's all we do during the fall.
The text that I got last week was the most amazing thing ever. Like, trying to be a good friend, and so I said, hey, like, Mike, what can I do to help? Like, can I pick a kid up? Can I bring you dinner? Like, what do you need? And his response was, go back in time 5 years, and we've got a friend who we both remember this conversation quite vividly. Mm-hmm. He was like, we just pulled our kids out of everything. Like, we decided it wasn't going to rule our life, and we were both like, yeah, but your kids kind of need those experiences.
At the time, I was like, what are you doing? Like, that's terrible.
Yeah. So Mike's request was, please go back in time 5 years ago and slap me across the face when I called Adam out for saying that.
Seriously, that is so... There's so much wisdom in that. And I see it now. I did not see it at the time.
I do. I still see our wisdom, and I think good things come from youth sports. But
you got to find the balance. I feel like we're just going nuts.
Yeah, we need to pick a kid and get rid of them.
Yeah, there you go. That would help a lot, actually. If we could get rid of a whole year of stuff. Yeah, I like it.
Be on your best behavior, kids.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who will be the weakest link?
Happy October, John.
Happy October.
I cannot believe it is October already. I love October.
I normally love October because it is, as the women of TikTok and Instagram have been professing, it's sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
But all it has been is sweating weather
so
lately,
hot, dude. Holy
freaking
cow.
80 degrees today at 6 o'clock in the football game I was coaching.
Boo. I don't care for that. I've long professed fall to be fat man weather. Like, it is, I've been sweating for 6 months nonstop from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. And now it's finally cooling off, but only kind of. But hopefully we're kind of through the heat waves.
I know. I've got a whole collection of quarter zip hoodies and sweaters and stuff that are just itching to come out for true sweater weather. Mm-hmm. But I am not going to be one of these women that endure the heat for fashion's sake.
I've seen some pretty funny reels.
As I like soak through.
People are so funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I hate to break it to you, sweetheart. That's my life every day.
I know you're doing this for fun, but seriously, the struggle is real.
Wearing a tank top, shorts, with the fan blowing on me, I still soaked through my t-shirt.
Oh, man. Seriously. Yeah. And I always wear gray. That's like the worst thing you could ever wear when it's sweaty outside.
Well,
and I always get the line right above the tummy, you know, just
the boob sweat.
Yep.
You can say it, Mike.
The swoob, everybody. The swoob line.
Look.
That should be one of our t-shirts. It just has a swoop line on it. And it just says swoop line. Oh, shoot. Who gave us adult money?
We should do that, but it should be like swoop line, trademarked. Brought to you by Fat Guys with
There you
Smoker
go.
right
Yeah,
on the
with
belly.
a big belly. We should do it on aprons.
I want to
That'd
put the
be
logo
awesome.
on the belly.
That would actually be pretty dope. We got a lot of good ideas.
I know.
Well, we haven't recorded for 2 weeks now? What have you been cooking? Have you been cooking?
What have I cooked? I did pork tenderloins.
Okay. The little ones or the big
little ones? No, not a loin, a tenderloin.
Yeah, we like the tenderloin in our house.
They're so freaking easy. Mm-hmm. So
Do you get them the pre-marinated ones?
Nah.
What do you do with them?
This time, I like a peasant.
Oh.
I had to order at full retail price the hickory meat church rub that just came out.
Oh. I didn't know they had a hickory. I love hickory.
Yeah, so it's a Ace Hardware exclusive rub.
What?
Because they've been, it's their longest partnership. And, I think it was Ace's 100-year anniversary or something. Anyway, I don't know. They did something with Ace. And I called and I pled my case of, look, none of the Aces around me even carry your stuff.
Yeah.
People want this. I want to facilitate it. And they said no.
Really? They were like, no, it's got to be through Ace.
But it reminds me a lot of Smoke Junkie.
Oh, dude, I like Smoke Junkie.
Dude, Smoke Junkie might be one of my favorite rubs. I think it is Haley's favorite rub. It's the best barbecue potato chip flavor.
Yes, that's what I thought.
So,
when we did, if you're just joining us, when we had Adam on from This Juke and Q, his name, not mine, he sent us a box of this rub. And it was, we're talking how big is that bottle?
I don't know. It's like the Costco size seasoning.
Yeah, it's the real deal.
The big McCormick shakers.
So we used it on everything. I probably had about a quarter left, and I left it outside after a cook one day.
No!
Frickin' Moe's, dude. He just ate it all. His turds were so orange for a week. And I was like, I hope this burn's coming out, dude. I'm pissed. Oh, it was pretty funny.
Oh, that's so good.
He's so, bless his heart, he's so dumb. Anyway, I need to get me some more Smoke Junkie because we really like it. But maybe if this hickory is good, I'll try that. So do you order online at Ace?
No,
they don't have it anywhere
I
around
ordered
here?
it through Meat Church, just their
you did.
retail site.
Gotcha.
So I got a 4-pack. Maybe if you're nice to me today, I'll send you home with one.
Oh, all right. I'm not going to fight you on it.
Yeah, but so I did that. I cooked briskets. I did 3 briskets for an elders quorum, our men's group activity. And they may have been the best briskets I've ever done. I'm not going to lie.
What was different?
I slept on them a little longer than I normally do.
Okay.
My meter didn't wake me up when it hit 160, so they were at 170.
Okay. Pre-wrap.
Yeah, pre-wrap. So they went a little longer unwrapped.
Okay.
And then I pulled them. I pulled them at 198, which is lower than I normally do.
Right.
But they went in a cooler at, I think the last one came off at 11.
Oh, okay.
And the
AM?
11 a.m.
Okay.
And the activity was at 6. So, they all got 7 or 8 really good hours of resting.
And you just keep them in the cooler to stay warm.
Yeah, so you converted me.
Long.
I leave them in the butcher paper and wrap the butcher paper and everything in saran wrap.
Yeah, dude.
And then I put them in a cooler with blankets to take up the extra room.
Mm-hmm.
And they were tender and juicy.
I need to do another brisket, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, they were prime briskets, which I normally avoid.
Yeah.
I like choice briskets.
You usually go choice, right?
But all 3 of them were prime, and dude, on the point, that point had marbling that looked like Wagyu.
Really?
It was, there was so much intermuscular fat.
I think the point's my favorite part.
The point is by far the absolute best part.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a big fan.
In a lot of grocery stores you can go to and just buy a flat.
Just get a flat.
I want to know where all the other points are.
Yeah, what are they doing with those?
I want the point.
They're probably grinding them up in a hamburger. Gosh
Dude.
dang it.
But yeah, man. They were delicious.
That sounds bomb.
So, what else have I cooked? I feel like I did pork shoulders, or at least a pork shoulder for something. Oh, we had a potluck for Charlie's orchestra concert.
Oh.
Yeah, he takes orchestra lessons from someone here in the neighborhood, and it's almost like a piano recital style.
Okay.
But they play a lot of group pieces. But because it's like a neighborhood type situation, not a formal school, we were in somebody's backyard, which was great. The weather was awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
But we did a potluck right before then. So I took a pork shoulder and buns, and mine was the first thing gone.
Nice. That's the best feeling.
Yeah.
When you pick up an empty plate and it's just like, yeah, that was
When
great.
and like there were supposed to be like 6 main dishes, and a bunch of people like brought pasta and
Pasta.
yeah.
See, Whitney scoffs at anything that's not pasta. I scoff at pasta.
Well, someone had the nerve to bring pasta with eggplant in it, but they cut it in such a way it looked like sausage chunks.
What?
So I like got it.
That's so mean.
Like I took some and I brought it back to my plate and I stuck and I was like, "Why is this mushy?" And I like picked it up and it was like,
how dare you? I mean, I'll eat eggplant occasionally, but when you think it's sausage and you get eggplant, that's the biggest.
I will
Jeez.
eat eggplant if it is sliced, thinned, breaded, and deep fried, covered in marinara and mozzarella.
I've never had it like that.
You've never
That
had
sounds
like an
delightful.
eggplant parmesan?
No, I mean, I'm sure I have sometime in my life.
That's the only way you should eat that garbage.
Dude.
It's like it's the only thing worse than squash is eggplant. It's like mushy squash.
Yeah. I like squash. You don't like squash?
No.
John.
I mean, I'll eat it. I won't eat. Well, let me rephrase that. I will eat zucchini and yellow
I do
summer
like zucchini.
squash. Butternut?
Yeah, I'm not really into
Nope.
that.
Acorn?
Zucchini and that yellow stuff, though, those are some of the best things on the grill.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love the
That's good
grilled
on the grill.
stuff,
I'm
yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of butter and salt and pepper involved there.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. That's probably the best part. You're
And
right.
I will eat spaghetti squash every once in a while.
See, I've only had that once and it just freaked me out. I was just like, this isn't spaghetti, you silly goose. I think I must have been, I was like in junior high, and I was like, I don't know if I like this.
But butternut?
No, spaghetti squash.
Butternut squash? Nope.
I don't think I've ever had butternut. I mean, I'm sure I have, but
It's the like nasty orange stuff. They have it late in the fall,
yeah,
and
see, it reminds me of baby food.
it reminds
Every
me.
time I eat squash, it reminds me of baby food.
Well, and let me see if I can steer us back to our intended topic
Yeah,
tonight.
go ahead.
It reminds me a lot of pumpkin. Which
Yeah, you were saying you love pumpkin.
pumpkin really has one purpose and one purpose only, and the entire world could survive off of one pumpkin pie.
Ooh.
Because you need one piece of pumpkin pie once a year, and that's all the pumpkin you need to consume.
And the thing is, like, if you look at what's in pumpkin pie filling, I mean, there's pumpkin, but they basically do everything to make it not taste like pumpkin, I feel like. So,
Yeah.
pumpkin pie is the only type of pumpkin I've ever had. So,
Yeah.
and I like pumpkin chocolate chip cookies and all that stuff, too.
Not my favorite.
Are you serious?
Pumpkin roll? No.
Really? I love me a good roll. I mean, the cream's the best part, obs, but...
Yeah.
Speaking of pumpkin spice lattes, 'tis the season.
Sweata-weta.
Sweata-weta.
Sweata-weta and SPL all day long.
What's SPL?
Or I guess PSL. Pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, yeah.
I tried to be cool and I screwed it.
Well, you know what? I should have just picked that up. That was my bad. We thought we'd talk about barbecue fall parties, John, and you just went to one.
I did.
a potluck, which was perfect segue into this, and I just kept talking about
That's okay.
eggplant. So
I
that's
also
my
dropped
bad.
that I took brisket to a event.
That's true. You did do that.
I tried to do it twice, but
Yeah, well, I'm pretty slow at picking up on hints. Took me a long time to realize my wife was interested in me. So,
hey,
So-
in your defense, there were donuts between you and her,
that is very true.
so shame on her for distracting you.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, so let's talk about why everybody should have a fall barbecue party.
Starting with the perfect weather.
Oh my gosh, I hate summer, like midsummer parties. Like, I'm so hot.
Look, man, I can build a fire. Mm-hmm. I've got patio heaters. Like,
Oh, there you go.
there are ways to warm things up. Mm-hmm. There ain't no way to cool it down
Nope.
enough.
It ain't happening. Yeah, I'm on board. I don't think I've ever really thought about this because I don't feel like you hear about it a lot this time of year. Huge parties. I mean, tailgating, football, but
The
not really
ultimate
like
outdoor
getting
party.
together stuff.
Yeah, it's because everyone's buried in youth sports and school and
Because it's the worst, most busy time of year. I love fall, but I feel like it's passing us by so fast.
I know. Have you been through the canyon?
Yes.
Leaves are getting pretty.
Yeah, I drove through, but I drove through with a new driver the other day, so I was not as focused on the leaves. It was pretty intense, actually. Bless her heart, she did good, but I was like, oh my gosh! It's one of those where you know that they're not going to react very well if you, like, freak out on them, so I'm trying to stay cool. And then they just change lanes, going 60 miles an hour, like 90 degrees on the wheel. It's like, maybe just let's calm down a little. Holy cow! Anyway, it's a good time. Fall themed barbecue dishes, John. Thoughts? I go immediately to Thanksgiving stuff, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the traditional stuff.
I guess I like this time of year. Like, I'm still in tailgate mode.
Yeah,
So ribs, pork, brisket.
party type foods.
Yeah, big proteins I'm still a fan of. I think there's lots of great appetizers.
Oh yeah,
Jalapeno poppers, Texas Twinkies. I think fatties get neglected a lot.
they do. I've rediscovered the fatty this year. I need
Yeah.
to break that out again.
We've talked about those. Have you ever done pig shots?
I think. Did you give me a pig shot once? Maybe it was my brother that.
I don't
did
think I have. I don't know that I've
it. It
ever
was
made
pretty
them.
good.
So for those that aren't as cultured as Mike and I and
We
know what
are
a pig shot
very
is,
cultured.
You take a slice of sausage,
Kielbasa,
whatever
something
sausage
that.
you like. Bratwurst would work.
Oh,
Kielbasa would
bratwurst.
work
I didn't think
good.
about that. That would be good.
I had some Hatch green chili pork sausages the other day.
Oh, interesting.
Delightful.
Huh.
But you take a slice that's about a 1/4 inch, and then you wrap a piece of bacon around the circumference, making a cup with the bacon being the sides and the sausage being the bottom. And then you can fill it with whatever you want.
What have you had in it?
I had a cream cheese mixture.
That's what I
almost
had.
like a
Cream cheesy.
jalapeno filling.
Yeah,
Stuffed jalapeno filling.
I think that's what I had, and it was nice. I liked the little bit of spice. The cream cheese obviously tones it down a little bit, but I tell you what, I mean, you wrap anything in bacon, it's going to be delicious.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a cool. The size of it was kind of nice because sometimes it's like, whoa, that's too much. But a pig shot's just a little. I mean, think of a sliced jalapeno sausage being the base of it. It's not super huge. You just pop it in your mouth like an
Yeah,
Advil.
it's like the size of a medicine cup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So-
I like me some pig shots.
I like those. I think cream cheese is kind of like it's like a real solid O line.
Yeah,
Like it's there for all of the things. It's right there. It gets ignored, but it a lot of times carries the team.
it really does. And it calms things down too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
If
it
you're a
can
baby and you don't like
balance
it
things out a
spicy,
little bit.
add some cream
A little
cheese.
cream cheese to it. Heck yeah. Let's talk. We kind of talked about this before, and I don't think either of us are super on board, especially with your hatred
Oh my
of all
gosh.
things pumpkin-y. But there's a trend going around that I've seen where people will cook party ribs inside of a pumpkin. John, what are your thoughts on
Let
this?
me look at the camera.
For those of you listening
No.
in the car, John is vigorously shaking his head.
You
no
should
to
be
this.
able to hear my cheeks flapping. I am shaking my head no so hard. Like, no. Pumpkin doesn't belong anywhere near
near pork.
protein, period.
I would be curious to taste it. I don't think I would enjoy it. And I would hate to waste a delicious rack of ribs throwing it in a pumpkin, you know?
Yeah, like, if you like it in your latte, great. Like, more power to you. I don't drink coffee. Maybe it's the greatest thing
Yeah,
in the
maybe
world.
maybe it is good.
But when everything starts to taste the same, like,
Yeah.
it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, keep your pumpkin spice in the pumpkin pie, in your pumpkin roll, pumpkin cookies. Keep it in the dessert baked goods.
Yep.
Keep it away from your protein.
I like it. I support it.
That's my hot take.
Yeah. I like all of those things that you just mentioned, except for the lattes. I've never had those either. But I can't imagine that this would be an enjoyable thing. I think it's more for, like, presentation. Like, look what I put in this pumpkin, everybody. Happy fall. But I can't imagine it's good.
Even just like the smell of pumpkin, like you said, you've got to do a lot to pumpkin before the pie's good, the cookies are good.
Right.
Like,
The pumpkin is almost, I mean, it's
there
again,
for
like
color.
you're dumping everything in there to kind of make it taste less like
yeah.
pumpkin.
I don't know if it was while we were recording or beforehand. Like, it's baby food.
Yes. Yep.
Didn't like it when I was a baby either. Like,
Yeah. True that. Okay, so no party ribs in the pumpkin.
no
then.
party ribs in the pumpkin.
No party ribs in the pumpkin for us.
I do think party ribs are a good option.
I love party ribs, man. They're great.
Yeah.
And I love me some 3-2-1 method ribs, fall off the bone, deliciousness. I feel like with party ribs, they're almost more like a grilled rib, which I thought I wouldn't like because there's a little bit more of a bite to it, but I like it. It's different. Yeah. Have you seen, maybe we've already talked about this, but have you seen where they just take a pork butt and cut it into country style ribs?
Uh-huh.
I've never done that before. Have you done that?
I haven't ever done it.
I wonder if it would be any good. For like party style ribs, seems like it'd be kind of yummy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's almost like burnt ends. Poor man's burnt ends.
yeah, that's true. Kind of the same idea, huh?
Yeah. Other things I think are great for fall parties. I'm a big fan of smoked Chex Mix.
Oh yeah, you've mentioned that. Your kids are into that.
My kids love it. Clay especially. Mm-hmm. Sam's Club no longer carries the like really big bags of Chex Mix that we used to use to make the smoked Chex Mix.
Sam's Club.
That kid is like pissed. Like he's
not
ready.
into it, huh?
He's ready to go have it out with Sam Walton Jr. To get that resolved. But I think that Cheez-Its, like any of those like smoked cracker party mixes, I think
Like those
is a great
Cheez-Its.
option.
This is more desserty, but those candied pecans you made one year were some of the best things I've ever had, dude. Those were so good.
Those are banging.
You made those on the smoker, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I want to make sure I wasn't detouring us too much. But that would be so good to just have, I don't know, a bowl of people just, I don't know.
Yeah.
But those were so good.
Yeah, it's like praline pecan on steroids.
Yeah. Oh, so good. John, tips for controlling the heat a little bit when it's a little colder outside for a fall party.
What do you mean, like keeping the food warm?
No, I think like more like cooking, like helping your smoker stay consistent. You know what I mean? So they don't dip with the outside
especially
temperature
for
as
your
much.
pellet smoker, a welding blanket.
The welding blanket has changed my life.
$25 at Harbor Freight. Throw that thing over your pellet smoker, and you will be amazed at how much more efficient it becomes just adding that little layer of insulation on it.
Seriously, like I doubted you because a welding blanket is not overly thick. And I fold mine in half or even in thirds sometimes if I can get it. But the amount of pellets you use is astonishing.
Yeah. I used to burn through at least a hopper and a half, sometimes 2 whole 20-pound hoppers on my Century 34 when it was below freezing.
Yeah.
And I went to burning through less than 1 hopper when I'd use a welding blanket.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'll do an overnight cook and expect to go out there and have to open up a whole new bag, and it's maybe half gone. Like, it's pretty impressive.
And this is, like, I'm talking about a overnight cook at 225 degrees.
Yeah. Get you a welding blanket. I love it.
I mean, some of the new grills are great. Like my Timberline, I've got an Ironwood, not a Timberline.
Right.
My Ironwood, like it's double wall insulated. Like it's super efficient on its own. Like I haven't noticed as much of a difference as my single walled grill, but it is a huge game changer.
You know what I haven't used the welding blanket on is my offset. I bet it would. I wonder, do you think it would be more effective to put it over the firebox or the cooking chamber?
I don't know.
I need to experiment with that a little bit. I haven't broken that bad boy out for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my offset's still sitting in front of my house on the trailer. Like, bought it and haven't used it.
One day we're going to retire, and we're going to have all this time to just play with our offsets. It'd be so nice in 50 years or so. Of course, the world will be done by then, but you can imagine.
Tell me about it.
John, there's a whole section on here about fall drink pairings for barbecue that I'm just going to go ahead and skip, although I do not want to offend our buddy, our Belgium stallion.
Yeah, Matthias.
Sorry, buddy.
We disappointed Matthias with our lack of knowledge in beer. So if you need suggestions, especially on beer, highly recommend you reach out to our buddy Matthias.
He knows his stuff.
He did it. Like I learned so much from the chat he sent. I was like, oh, I had no idea. So,
yeah, the rest of the research I did has like themes, decorations. None of that I'm really into, honestly.
So, and it's super funny. So we did this like men's event with our church group, and they asked me to smoke a couple of briskets. So I was like, okay, like, well, they said, will you smoke some meat? And I said, okay, like, what do you want? Like, what's the budget? Like, how many people? Like,
Right.
Normal questions that you ask when you're catering or helping prepare food. They didn't have a whole lot of ideas. We ended up expecting about 50 people. And I was like, okay, well, it's probably going to be about $200 for brisket.
Did you do 2 or 3?
I did 3.
Okay.
So I did 3 briskets. And I made sure I like clarified a couple of times, like, I'm just doing brisket. I'm not bringing buns. I'm not doing sides. Like, that's what you want, right? Yep. So I was like, great. I like showed up, and I swear somewhere along the way, I had heard conversation about it being like potluck, like bring a side to share kind of a thing.
Everybody bring something.
And then the like formal invitations came out. Didn't say anything about it.
Oh shoot!
I was like, okay, well maybe they're just doing something. The leadership group that was putting it on. I got there. There was a box of chips, 1 bowl of coleslaw, and they decided that day to go get buns. And we were doing brisket sandwiches. I was like, Whew, those buns just saved my life. This is not 50 people
Right.
worth of meal just on the meat.
That's the most man thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, like they did have plastic tablecloths. Like one of them was like, my wife sent these.
Yeah. She
That-
said we have to use some.
But look, you like started talking about themes, and my mind immediately was like saying, the theme is the food.
The theme is eat.
Yeah,
I
like,
love that.
the theme is food. What else do we need? Like, oh, your kid showed up dressed up. That's great. This is a party for chili.
That's hilarious because contrast that with Whitney for the women's group in our ward. Whitney was in just part of the committee to set up, and they went up the canyon to Camp Lamaya,
Oh,
and
wow.
they were going to do like a sleepover for all the women in our church group, and then it turned out that adult women don't really want to have a sleepover, so I guess they canceled that. But they did go up there for dinner, and the amount of planning.
I was going to
and
say there had to
stuff.
be lights.
Yes.
And
A craft.
centerpieces.
They had to have a craft for everybody to do, and the decoration. And Whitney
Yeah.
picked up the food. They just catered it from Costa Vida. But I mean, everything was so. And I'm just like, man, if this was a men's event, like it'd be meat and maybe a bag of chips. If somebody
Yeah.
remembers it, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was. The contrast there is just so.
Yeah.
It's funny.
We're wired differently, I guess. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
Yeah, no. I don't think you were in the bishopric with us yet. Mark and I had a very in-depth conversation about why we needed fabric tablecloths
Oh,
with somebody.
how did it go?
We bought the fabric tablecloths.
Were you guys pro or against?
They were at a significant expense that we were having trouble reconciling the need for. We were educated on why that was important.
Oh, do share. Why? Why? What's the
that's-
reasoning?
They're important, Mike.
That's it.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, it seems like somebody's got to wash them, somebody's got to store them, somebody's got to, as opposed to just throwing crap away.
The-
Well,
We're wired different, Mike.
we're built different.
We're just
Oh, jeez.
different things are important to us.
Well, it's a great thing we have women in the world to make things look pretty and
yeah, can you imagine?
do all the things.
Can you
Oh.
imagine if we were
We'd
left
still
to do
be
everything?
cavemen, dude. We'd still be living in caves. Well, I mean, none of us would exist if there were no women, but we would, yeah. It doesn't take much.
No, I think we would have figured out like Lazy Boys.
Yeah, that's probably
We
true.
would have figured out Lazy Boys
You
at some
know
point.
that was built by a man.
Lazy Boys, big screens.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe it would be nice.
I don't want to find out.
No, not worth it. Not worth it. Well, John, that's all I had for. Oh, there is a. We didn't really talk about that. You kind of mentioned it, but having like a fire at a fall party, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great time for it. Again, during the summer, I feel like is when you have, s'mores or whatever, but it's still so blasted hot.
Yeah.
Nowadays, ooh, it's perfect.
Yeah. And maybe we do this next time. Because I feel like this last thing is a whole topic in and of itself. Because we haven't talked about chili. And I think chili at a party.
We should have a whole episode on chili. That would be pretty good.
Can we fill the Scrub Daddy cups up with Meat Church chili?
Oh, dude. Eat chili while we talk about chili? Can you imagine? I'm on board. Maybe it could be one of our... Remember when we used to do live episodes? We should... Well, making chili wouldn't be a very fun live episode because...
No, but eating
it
chili.
simmers. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it simmers for hours.
For hours.
Yeah, an over-the-top brisket Meat Church chili.
Ooh, brisket. I've never had a brisket one.
Dude.
I threw chuck roast in it. Changed my life.
Yeah, I was
Brisket
going to say,
would be a
I've
whole new level.
I have saved. I don't save the point for anybody, but I've saved the flat before and cubed it up. and put it in my brisket.
Oh, I'll bet that's good. In your chili, because it is brisket.
Yes,
Yeah.
in my chili.
I got you. That sounds
Yep.
delicious. All right, stay tuned for chili next time, guys. Oh, I love chili.
I'm hungry.
That's going to be a good one. Well, until next time, I'm Mike.
And I'm John. And we're Fat Guys with Smokers. Thanks for listening to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't forget to tune in for even more nonsense from a couple of Fat Guys with Smokers.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.